really blown away. I'm so excited to be back doing this for you guys and showing you these sceneries, because we've just hit another standard of sceneries for the Microsoft Flight Simulator.
United Tango Victor, Roger, runway 09, clear for takeoff, surface wind 150 degrees, 4 knots.
Runway 09, clear for takeoff, easy 93 Tango Victor.
Hello Flight Sim fans, and welcome to the Practically Geek channel. In today's video, I'm here in sunny New Zealand. I'm in Canterbury, New Zealand, and I'm going to be checking out a Payware scenery for you guys by the great folks at NZA Simulations, and this is their Mount Cook region scenery, which is available from the 24th of May, and you can grab this direct from their website, which I'll be linking in the description down below. Before I jump into the NZA Simulations scenery for Mount Cook, I just want to say hello. It's been a long time, hasn't it? And if you are interested on sort of a channel update and my future plans for the channel and sort of my thoughts and what's been going on with me, if you're interested in seeing a video, I might just do one anyway. And if you want to watch it, then have a little watch of it. But I might release that in a few days or maybe next week, just outlining some of my thoughts about the flight sim. Things that I've missed, basically my plans on what I want to do and the reason why I'm back doing these videos, and you just all of a sudden see a upload from my channels. So go and watch that video whenever it does release, just to hear my thoughts. But yeah, let's get straight in. Let's take a look at this scenery, because it is a big one. It's the Mount Cook scenery. It's the Mount Cook region of Canterbury, New Zealand. So NZA haven't just put the Mount Cook airport in. They've added quite a lot. So as always, I'll be showing you default scenery first and jumping into the Payware scenery, and then you'll be seeing my before and after shots of the scenery. And yes, there is a lot to go through. I'm going to try and keep the video down though, because that's one of me sort of new comeback resolutions, if you like. So yeah, did I mention this is the Mount Cook region of Canterbury, New Zealand? NZA Simulations have recreated quite a lot of this, which you'll see throughout this video, starting with Mount Cook. We're just flying over the top of Mount Cook Airport, and I'll be honest, apart from those blotchy texture, the concrete textures, which is present in most default sceneries, it's not too bad. The markings, the runway markings, the taxiways, the aprons are all true to life. The layout in particular, the autogen buildings are actually not too bad. We'll take a little look at those in just a second. But in this scenery, you're getting two airports or slash aerodromes. You've got Mount Cook Airport, which is November Zulu Mike Charlie, which is the one just in front here, and further south down to Lake Pukaki is the Glentanner Aerodrome, which is November Zulu Golf Tango. You've also got the Twizel Medical Center, which is further south, even further down, so that's sort of south of the lake itself, before we move south to Glentanner Aerodrome, just off the north tip of Lake Pukaki. Here's a closer look at the default scenery for Mount Cook Airport, and apart from the blotchy sort of apron and taxiway textures on the concrete there, the default scenery doesn't look too bad. One thing I will mention though is I am using the New Zealand mesh by Orbex, which you can grab off their website, and NZA Simulations have stated that this is fully compatible with this, although I've noticed just by sort of poking around already for the scenery for this region that there is some anomalies. Again, they were first seen when the simulator came out, you know, those weird sort of spikes and sort of odd hilltops. Now I believe that was something to do with Sim Update 9. Don't quote me, but I believe they caused a bit of issues. But this is Mount Cook in the default state, so let's with a bit of editor magic, let's move south to Glentanner Aerodrome. And just like that, we're down south just past the Tasman River, and we're on the northernmost tip of Lake Pukaki, and this is Glentanner Aerodrome. And Again, it's the same story really. The apron texturing isn't great when it's default. I must admit the runway texturing is not too bad. You can see like the tyre marks there. One thing to mention now, the Autogen buildings aren't correct. There is 2 buildings in this kind of layout, in this kind of L layout, but they are bigger. I think there's like a utility building. There's also a hangar, which again, obviously, you'll see in the Payware scenery. NZA have recreated it faithfully to the real life counterpart. Before we take a look at the NZA Simulations scenery, it does include the Twizel Medical Centre for helicopter operations. That's further south of the lake. So we'll have a quick look at that, just to give you some reference of what you'll be getting, because obviously now the simulator does have various different freeware and payware helicopters, something again that I've missed. But let's go further south. By the magic of editing, we'll go there straight away and we'll take a look at the medical centre, and then we'll go into the NZA Simulation scenery. So further down the lake and just past the Twizel airport is the location of Twizel Medical Centre. Don't know why I'm putting so much emphasis on the pronunciation. I think it's Twizel. I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. Twizel or Twizel. Twizel sounds a bit nicer than Twizel, but Twizel Medical Centre is depicted in the default scenery as this sort of greenish building that looks like a J. And then next to it, I'm not too sure what that building is, but I think this whole area is the medical centre, with the helipad would just be in the bottom right of shot there. So it will be very, very interesting to see what NZA Simulations have done with this particular area, never mind the airports. So just before we go and check out the NZA Payware scenery, one thing to mention is they have actually added some points of interest markers which appear on your world map. These are the huts on the mountain, and they've got some areas where ski planes can land as well. You've got the plateau hut and the ball hut, and again they appear as points of interest markers for you to quickly jump to that area. And again, obviously for some helicopter operations you should be able to land up on there. So without further ado, let's go and check out what the fantastic team at NZA Simulations have done with this region of New Zealand. So we are back inside the flight simulator and we're in the NZA Simulations scenery, and this is the Twizel Medical Centre as it appears in real life. And haven't the guys done a fantastic job here? They've taken what's just usually generic scenery from the small town south of Glentanner Aerodrome, and they've stuck this medical centre with a helipad in. You can see the R44 down there, which you can download from flightsim.to. I'll leave a link in the description. That's from the RotoSim Pilot, great YouTube channel as well. Go and check that out. I'll link that as well if I can remember. But it's a fantastic job. You can see all the little details. We'll fly in, take a couple of them, and we'll head north to Glentanner Aerodrome. So I love how NZA have captured the sort of the essence of the surrounding area. They haven't gone mad and done all the town, but certainly if you're in this spot, you can see the road has been completely retextured. It's been added in. You can even see you know, little grates, little what would you call them, storm drains, just in the centre of the road there. You've got all this lovely landscape and some custom foliage, trees, and in the background there, this is not present in the default scenery, as you will see in the before and after. Stay tuned for that, the before and after montage. You've got obviously the helipad, which you can spawn in. You can use that as a starting point, cold and dark, for any helicopters. And overall, I absolutely love this little area that you can use for helicopter flights. You can use them, jump from here to Glentanner to Mount Cook and then up to the mountains. It's fantastic work. So just before we head north, I just wanted to point out just the level of detail. I've pointed that out in most of my NZA videos, and it's just this bike here, just chained up here, and that's just adds a bit of realism, you know. And you're only really going to see this if you're doing any sort of helicopter flights, maybe some low-level GA flying. You'll see this building, and look at that lovely chimney at the top there on the building, which has got some custom smoke coming out the top. NZA have used this in other bits of the scenery, which we'll see later on, but let's head north and see what they've done to the Glentanner Aerodrome. So at the very top of Lake Pukaki, we have the Glentanner Aerodrome. Once again, NZA have hit it out the park with this one. It is a smaller aerodrome, so you're not going to have loads of buildings, lots of activity going on, but check out the apron ways. Look at all the different marks, the tire marks, the oil spills, the concrete. It really looks really crisp, high definition, definitely. There is obviously a lot of PBR texturing inside the hangars there. We'll take a look inside the hangars in just a second, but off in the distance there you'll see some lovely bits of immersive smoke from the autogen buildings, may I add. I think they're still just the normal ones. There's also a grass strip which with a slight sort of slope going downwards, which I've taken off a few times. It's great fun. Definitely try it if you buy the scenery package. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Let's head inside the hangar and see what they've added in there. Can see a lot of clutter inside there already, even from this distance. So once again, stunning work for the interior of the hangar. You've got everything in here really. You've got your tools. You've got the work benches for the workers. You've got little medical supplies on the wall. These fantastic bits of artwork on the walls. The Mount Cook and the New Zealand posters, a clock there, and these are really crisp detail even from this sort of, I would say, distance on the back wall. You can see everything. You can make out the no smoking area sign, even the plugs on the wall. This intricate work where you can see all the wiring where the electric sockets come up from the wall, you know, the white paneling, and the hook, the crane on the ceiling there with the custom lights hanging down. It is fantastic, and even the corrugated, I would imagine that's sort of a plexiglass kind of skylight with the lighting coming through. It's fantastic work as always from the team. One thing to point out is just the insane level of custom objects and custom foliage around these airports. Even here at Glentanner, you've got all these lovely new bits of trees and bushes, rocks along the edge of the runway. Obviously the runway has been retextured and looks more true to life. Let's head back over to the other side of this aerodrome and check out that lovely grass strip and the custom buildings that they've added along that section. I really love this area of Glentanner Aerodrome. You can see the coaches and sort of the terrain. I think this is all custom models, so they've done a bit of terraforming to match the real world. I believe the bigger building over there, the one that says cafe on it, that does have a interior, so if it does, we'll head down there and have a little look. But again, the use of the immersive sort of smoke coming from the chimneys of each building, just the intricate work of the rock placement down these paths. Again, if you're doing an approach down into this grass strip, which you can see coming into shot right now on the left with the windsock. I'll show you a brief look at the night light in here as well before we head further north down the coast of the Tasman River. But again, this area is fantastic. I absolutely love it, and definitely if you decide to purchase this scenery, have a go at taking off in a light aircraft from this lovely grass strip. I'll show you that running down in just a second. And just look at that. Look at the mountains in the background, and could you ask for a more scenic takeoff inside your Cessna there, going slightly downhill, hitting about 60 or 80 knots and then taking off over there. Absolutely fantastic. But again, little details catch my eye. You've got the custom fencing and all these custom electric posts carrying electrical line down the side of the road. Fantastic. I just wish that Asobo and the simulator would fix the cars in the game, because they look like ghost cars most of the time. But you know, NZA have come in and made that custom road. They do it for most of their sceneries with the Proline range. They had all the outskirts roads to a certain distance, and it looks fantastic. I'm pretty sure I can see some sheep down there in the pen. But let's take a look at that interior, some night lighting, and we'll head up to Mount Cook Airport. So yeah, it does actually include an interior. This is mostly a cafe, which I'll show you in just a second, but you can see the reception desk, and it has an animated television. I think this, from what I remember, there's quite a new feature that the team have implemented, and you can see the NZA Simulations merchandise there, which just a bit of a shameless plug, guys. Please send me some. I'd wear that. I'd wear that, trust me. And yeah, the level of detail in the cafe area is fantastic. More animated televisions. You can see the cookie time cookies on the right there. You can actually see near enough the full menu, even with the small text: vodka, tequila, scotch and gin if you're a nervous flyer. And quite weirdly, you've got a lot of sheep staring back at you down when you drink. So yeah, it's got it all. Let's have a little quick look at the night lighting around this area and quickly head up to Mount Cook. So for the first time today, let's rewind those watches and clocks to 1 AM and take a look at the night lighting for this area of Glentanner Aerodrome. So yeah, the night lighting, as always, from the team is fantastic. I must admit, the little details like the lighting illuminating the little huts here, even the lighting that's illuminating the buildings without the interiors, gives the illusion that they have actually got a 3D interior. But the building in the center, the cafe area, it looks fantastic. You can see right in, you can see the tables, you can even see the fridge where the drinks are. It's really that detailed. Now this area was probably the only one that's lit up majorly. The other part, like the hangars, I'm sure it looks quite good, but the whole aerodrome, I don't think there's any taxi lighting or runway lighting. Correct me if I'm wrong there. And a quick hop north in the R44 helicopter, and we've landed here in Mount Cook Airport. And doesn't it look fantastic, guys? It compared to the default scenery, it is a massive difference. Really is. You'll see in the before and after montage coming up shortly, even the car park where you can see all the coaches and obviously the custom rocks and the cars all parked up correctly, variations parked forward and parked behind, you know, great little details by the team. You'll know that was just a big slab of nothing. There was nothing there. Things to point out, obviously you've got a few more custom buildings added in that default scenery didn't show. You've got just a sort of a shed type area. It actually looks like stable for horses, but I don't think it is. But over there by where the Porter, the Pilatus Porter aircraft is, over on the top right there, you'll see there's like a long building. The custom hangars look fantastic. We'll have a quick look in those. And obviously the terminal building, the control tower, that building itself with the wood structure looks fantastic. Let's get a closer look in and see what these all look like down below. More custom foliage with rocks. I love the petrol pump there with the hose sort of wrapping round and going across the floor. You've got some traffic cones there. The strut, the red sort of structure, the red metal beams going across the inside of the hangar there look fantastic. And just what you've come to expect. You wouldn't go wrong with purchasing this. I'll go over the details a bit later and the price of this fantastic scenery. It really is amazing. All the custom objects, a lot of custom objects. And I mean, look at the scenery behind it. Wouldn't you? I'd just do laps of this airport in a little Cessna, going around, taking in the scenery. Let's take a look in the hangar just over to the left. The inside of this hangar is so detailed. The wood structure, the ceiling across, you can see the grains of wood. I mean, it's insane. The metal paneling over to the right and left there. Again, the level of, you can go in and land your plane here and be satisfied with the scenery around you. Bit of the landside area, again, the custom terraforming, the bit of dirt with the foliage and the rocks around it, fantastic. Custom AS350 squirrel parked up over on the right there. You can see inside the interior, really great glasswork. Texturing is fantastic. You always get this level of detail with the NZA Simulations scenery, and yeah, really blown away. I'm so excited to be back doing this for you guys and showing you these sceneries, because we've just hit another standard of sceneries for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. The reception area for the Mount Cook terminal is again, it's incredible. It's got a lot to it. The stairway with just that precision of the metalwork, sort of those hexagon patterns going up the stairway there. Again, the wood paneling in the ceiling, you can see the different grains of wood. It is so detailed. And the lady on the reception desk looks very happy to be here. She might have been on a long hour shift, I don't know, but she yeah, she looks very, very pleased to be here with us. I know I'm really, really excited to be showing you the scenery. I think if you were gonna need something in this scenery to just show you the level of detail and how much work and effort has gone in by the team, it's this. You're just thinking, Brian, what do you want about? It's a magazine, but it's a magazine on the table. I've zoomed in and I can read every single thing, and it even has one of their first, I think that was a freeware scenery that you can still download from the website and on some download websites for the simulator. Napier Airport, and it is a featured download. Fantastic. This is insane. You can see other things that are downloaded for the scenery as well. The Hamburg's sort of the VFR scenery for Hamburg. It's silly amount. They didn't have to, but they did. I mean, if you've got the job of a controller in this airport, then if you're watching this video, send me a picture of you looking out this in real life, because I want to see it for real, because this is a dream job, isn't it, really? But look, again, detail in the screens, you can see everything. You can see the digits on the radio. You can even see the digits on the what looks like the wireless phone, is what I'm trying to say. The radar screens to the right. It's fantastic. I didn't think I was going to come into this and be disappointed, but it's blown me away. This is fantastic. And just little things, the immersive smoke coming out top of the control tower, the terminal building, the people leaning across the bars waiting for their plane there, and it looks more alive. This is what these guys do. Every developer for scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you want to make the airport more alive. The default ones, you know, are better than what we had in the past, but these are just miles, they're 1,000 times better. Even off into the distance, you can see all the custom electronic posts with the electronic line running across them. It's fantastic. Let's have a look at the night lighting and head up into the mountains, eh? Once again, night lighting is very, very high standard. You can see right inside the terminal building. I love the lighting on the top of this hangar coming into view now. You can see right down to the red metal beams. Even the lighting coming outside the bigger hangar over in the distance there, or the distance just up on top left there. The immersive lighting, the red beacon lights flashing, illuminating the area around them. It is another fantastic job with the night lighting in an area that wouldn't be populated with a lot of light around here. You can see the stars up to the top left there as well. Yeah, blown away. Fantastic work. So let's hop into the R44 helicopter and head up to the top of the mountains and check out some of these little cabins and huts that the team have faithfully recreated, and I will take you into the before and after montage. There's a lot to go through still. I don't think my resolution of keeping these videos short is realistic, but there was a lot to go through on this particular. This is a whole region that the NZA team have done. So yeah, stop talking, Brian, get up to the top of the mountain. I won't show you every hut that the team have put in. I'll leave you guys to discover those for yourselves while you're doing some flying. But this is, I think this is a Muller's hut. Correct my pronunciation. Again, fantastic detail. The animated New Zealand flag there, and the sort of the base where the rock, so the hut is actually standing on. The rock is all custom, obviously. The parallax interior effect is fantastic as well. They don't have interiors, I don't think, but they're all sort of parallax effect to make it give the illusion of an interior. So this is the plateau hut, and over to the left, I'll show you in just 1 second, is a landing zone if you're brave enough to grab a Cessna with some skis on the bottom and do some landings and taking off. But look at the scenery. A bucket list of mine is to go to New Zealand anyway. Imagine staying here on this mountain top. The level of detail again is fantastic. You've got the animated New Zealand flag, the use of the smoke coming out of the chimneys. The chimney itself, you can see the sort of the metal coming through the paint where it's been, obviously it's weathered and it's come off. Fantastic features. I've said fantastic quite a lot, haven't I? And I'm really sorry. I'm a bit rusty. I'm back and I'm trying to get back into the routine of talking. You can imagine there's been quite a lot of takes of me saying F this and F that, but anyway, one great feature I've learned over from the Discord channel speaking to the devs is that actually the icing effects melt away in certain temperatures. That is just that's insane. That is really great. And yeah, so I think what we'll do now is I'll show you some before and after montage stuff of 3 of the main sceneries. That's the Twizel Medical Centre, the Glentanner Aerodrome, and finally the Mount Cook Scenery. And then I'll give you my outro and talk about the scenery and the price and obviously the link to go and get it. But yeah, here we go, some before and after stuff for you. before I wrap this one up, take you through some of the details of the scenery and the pricing and where to get it. Just to let you know that although it does state that the New Zealand mesh by Orbex is compatible, it was when the guys made the scenery, but unfortunately Sim Update 9 completely messed that up. So I'd recommend just for now that you have it uninstalled if you do have the New Zealand mesh, because it does create anomalies around this scenery that I have noticed myself. You don't need it, it looks fantastic without. I think, with that being said, some of the UK Orbex scenery has been messed up. Certainly I've noticed some stuff around Liverpool Airport that I might go and check out in a moment. But yeah, just take that into account. It will work, nothing will crash as such, but you will see some of the scenery being messed up around Mount Cook and Glentanner. So the Mount Cook region scenery by NZA Simulations, as you can already guess, I think it's amazing. Or others may say fantastic. Yeah, I've used that a lot. I'm sorry guys, I'm still rusty from getting back on board with these videos. I hope you enjoyed it. It includes a lot of the huts and cabins in the mountains. You've got Mount Cook Airport with the terminal and hangars with interiors to them. You've got the Twizel Medical Centre. You've got static aircraft, the Squirrel helicopters, the Pilatus Porter. You've got a lot of the airside and landside recreated, and once again there's a lot of PBR texturing. You've got the high resolution aerial imagery, a lot of static custom objects, and yeah, I think it's amazing. You can go and grab it from their website, which will be linked in the description. And here's the really amazing part: it is €18, so that's about £16, and I think that's amazing. It is a really amazing value for money, especially for the level of detail. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Practically Geek channel. My name's Brian, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching, everyone.
United Tango Victor, Roger, runway 09, clear for takeoff, surface wind 150 degrees, 4 knots.
Runway 09, clear for takeoff, easy 93 Tango Victor.